Hello, Lakers Nation. Welcome into Lakers Nation Live. I am Trevor Lane, and the Lakers. Oh, my goodness. What a win. The Lakers get the job done against the Cavs, and they move up in the standings. Eighth seed. Here we come. For now, the Kings still have a game to play. Not today, it'll be tomorrow, but the Lakers, for the time being, have moved into the eighth seed in the Western Conference, getting the big win over the Cavs, getting it done in pretty decisive fashion here. The Lakers win 116-97. Heck of a performance from the Lakers. Were there some hiccups? Yes, absolutely. The start of the third quarter, disaster. But other than that, a really nice performance from the Lakers, especially, of course, on the offensive end. But we saw some good things defensively as well. A lot of stuff I want to get into on today's show. So welcome in those of you joining from YouTube, from X, from Facebook. Welcome. Happy to have you here. Let's talk some Lakers basketball. Again, we're fired up. This puts the Lakers into that 8th seed now. In fact, I'm refreshing right now. Oh, there it is. There it is. I'm going to put it on the screen so you guys can see. Finally, God, I sound like The Rock. Finally, the Lakers have moved up in the standings. It's taken, what is this, a 9-1 stretch for LA? And finally, they've moved up. They are the 8th seed right now, which puts them into double elimination territory in the play-in tournament. And when you look at that, everybody, look at that. I don't want to get everybody too excited here, but the 6th seed is not out of the question. It's not out of the question. It's not. It's not likely. Let me be honest. It's not likely. The Suns have been playing fantastic basketball. This is what needs to happen at a minimum for the Lakers to move up to the 6th seed. Number one, 3 things have to happen. Number one, the Lakers need to win out. They have 4 games remaining. 4 games. Minnesota, Golden State, Memphis, Pelicans. Those are your 4 games remaining. The Lakers need to win out to get to the 6th seed. Number 2, the Kings need to lose a game. I don't care what game. They need to lose one game. Lakers need to win out. That's the most important thing. Kings need to lose a game, because if the Lakers finish tied with the Kings, and right now the Lakers have played one more game than the Kings go ahead. So the Kings need to lose a game somewhere. And number 3, the Suns need to lose 2 games. Suns need to lose 2 games. The Kings play the Nets tomorrow. So the Suns need to lose 2 games. The Lakers can finish tied with the Phoenix Suns, and they will have the tiebreaker. They can't finish tied with the Kings. If they finish tied with the Kings, that's bad. The Kings will go ahead. In the event of a 3-team tie, having the Kings in the mix is generally bad for the Lakers if it's a 3-team tie, because then you take the combined scores between all 3 teams, or the combined winning percentage of all 3 teams in games against each other. And because the Lakers went 0-4 against the Kings, that tends to knock the Lakers down in any kind of 3-team tiebreaker situation. So any tie that involves the Sacramento Kings is bad for the Lakers. So again, you need the Lakers to win out, you need the Kings to lose 1 game, and you need the Suns to lose 2 games. Those 3 things happen, and the Lakers are the 6th seed. Unbelievable. But that's where we're at. Long way to go, obviously. 4 games left to play, and they're not easy. They're not easy. You have Minnesota tomorrow, second night of a back-to-back. Look, Minnesota right now, they're the 1 seed in the West. They're pushing to get that 1 seed. Tomorrow's not going to be an easy game. Not going to be, I don't think the Lakers are going to be the favorites. Second night of a back-to-back. Then you have Golden State, who can get hot any game and beat anybody. Then you got Golden State. Then Memphis. Then New Orleans, the last game of the season. That's 4 tough games. The Lakers have now won 4 in a row. They're 9-1 in their last 10. They're playing great basketball. It's asking a lot to win all 4 of the remaining games, but the path to the 6th seed is not impossible. Who would have thought that? They could potentially get the 6th seed. Wow. That could be big. And remember, the Lakers have the tiebreaker over the Pelicans. If the Lakers win tomorrow and the Pelicans lose tomorrow, Lakers would have the 7th seed. They're right there. Finally, it's starting to pay off. All this winning, they've been stuck in the 9 seed forever. There is a path. Yeah, I know. The Pelicans play the Blazers. Look, it's not likely. But the Lakers can finish tied with the Pelicans and they'll be okay. The Lakers win out. They're just fine being tied with the Pelicans. So Yeah, they've got the Blazers one game. I know they play the Suns and the Pelicans play at some point. I'm not sure when that game is. I'll have to pull the schedule. But anyway, let's talk a little bit about tonight's game or this afternoon's game as well. But that's where the Lakers are at in the standings right now. They've got a chance. They can get to the 6th seed. They've got a chance. Some other things have to happen, but it's not impossible to get that 6th seed. All right. Let's get to some of your questions and comments. Mom Mentality. 8th seed said, no, we can't take days off. Yeah, I mean, definitely can't. Can't take days off. Got to make sure that they get the win. Keep winning games. It's all you can do. All you can do is keep winning games. Let's take a look at the box score. Here's what you've got for the Lakers right now for this game. You've got a really solid performance from Anthony Davis. And solid probably isn't giving him enough credit. Anthony Davis, 7 of 11 shooting, 13 boards, 4 assists, 3 steals, 6 blocks, 22 points for Anthony Davis. Incredible performance from him. Austin Reeves, 6 assists, 7 points. Kind of a quiet performance from him. AD, great. Austin, a little bit quiet. I thought he did well defensively. D'Lo, 28 points. Unfortunately, did have 6 turnovers, but 5 boards, 2 assists, 6 for 12 from 3, 11 of 17 shooting overall. LeBron, 10 of 18 shooting, 12 assists for LeBron, 24 points, 5 boards, 3 of 5 at the free throw line. Heck of a performance there. And then off the bench, Taurean Prince, have a game, plus 26 for Taurean on the night. 18 points, 4 of 5 from 3. Great performance from Taurean Prince in this one. Loved seeing that one. Loved seeing that out of Taurean Prince. Look, I thought that a lot of these guys had really solid nights for the Lakers tonight. I thought this was one of those nights where I keep saying tonight, it's really this afternoon. This was one of those games where they just got things to click enough on both ends of the floor. I see some people in the chat mention Gabe Vincent was pretty good defensively. Yes, he indeed was. Gabe Vincent was good defensively. I liked seeing what we got out of him there. Gabe Vincent was really solid in this game, so I appreciated Gabe Vincent's ability to fight through some screens and things of that nature. He still hasn't found his offense, of course, but defensively, there were some moments where he was pesky, and against a guy like Donovan Mitchell, you needed that. You needed that from him, and he did a good job. All right, Drew Potter. So front office should hold 2 tickets per game for LA Rams coaches or players since it's the good luck charm. Let's go Lakers. Yeah, apparently. Was it last year that Aaron Donald was courtside and the Lakers had a great game? Maybe that's all it takes. Maybe that's all it takes. It takes Aaron Donald or Sean McVay or whoever. Somebody from the Rams needs to be there. And that's all it's going to take. Is it Suns Pelicans tomorrow? I'm seeing some people in the chat that are talking about that. Let's take a look. Is that tomorrow? Oh, it is. That is tomorrow. Somebody's going to lose. Somebody's going to lose. That's a good thing. Somebody's going to lose there. Question. Superstar of the night. Who are we going with? Who are we going with for the superstar of the night on this one? Because there's really a few options here. You've got AD, who I thought was fantastic. LeBron racking up all the assists. D'Lo was great as well. Let's hit it.
Superstar of the night.
So chat, here's what I'm going to do, because I think that we can debate quite a bit. I'm just going to put a poll. Who is the superstar of the night? You guys can vote. AD, LeBron, D'Lo, and let me know who's the superstar of the night in this one. Let me know. Fire it off, because I think you can make cases for all 3 of those guys. Again, LeBron, 12 assists, 5 boards, 24 points. Didn't shoot well from 3, but otherwise just fine, right? Shooting the ball 10 for 18. You'll take that. Anthony Davis, 22 points, 13 boards, 4 assists, 3 steals, 6 blocks. Good Lord. And he hit a 3. Then D'Lo, 6 of 12 from three. He got hot for the Lakers, especially in the first half. He had 23 points at halftime. Who's the superstar of the night? Fire it off with your votes here. Let's see. I've got right now Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis running away with it. 60% of the vote right now for AD. And honestly, I think that's probably right. I'd probably lean AD as well. But you can make a case for any of those guys, which is great. That's how the Lakers win this game. You can make a case for any of those guys. And in this one, Anthony Davis was fantastic. So was D'Lo. LeBron did his thing. That's how you win this game. That's how you win this game. All right. We'll get into starting your role in just a minute. DJ said, 8th, do you think we can win our last 4 games? If not, how many? Also, why is Austin Reeves struggling so much from 3? So, can the Lakers win their last 4? I mean, right now they're rolling. They did shoot 43% from 3, 56% from the field. They've been one of the better three-point shooting teams since the All-Star break and really on the season. I believe since the All-Star break, they have the second best three-point percentage in the NBA. That was last I looked. So they're shooting the hell out of the ball. Could they drop a game? Could they lose tomorrow? Yeah. All it takes is an off shooting game and they could lose. Their defense is still, it's gotten better. There's no question. It's gotten better. Look, you held the Cavs to 97 points. The Cavs also shot 31% from 3. This is their second bad shooting game in a row after having a bad shooting game last game against the Suns, the Cavs did. So how much of that was the Lakers defense? How much of that was the Cavs just had a bad shooting game? I think the Lakers defense has stepped it up. It's still not great. It's okay. That's it. The Lakers defense is just okay. But overall, could the Lakers win the next 4? Yeah, they definitely can. They have to keep shooting well. They have to keep shooting the ball well. Their defense isn't enough to win games for them right now. So they've got to continue to shoot extremely well. So would I predict that they're going to win 4 straight when your opponents are Minnesota, Golden State, Memphis, and New Orleans? Probably not. My guess would be that they lose one in there somewhere, maybe tomorrow being the second night of a back-to-back. That might be tough. Look, they lost that game to Indiana. What happened? The Lakers shot terribly. Had they shot an average percentage from 3 that game, they win. But it's really hard to do that night in, night out. It's really hard to not have an off shooting night hit you at some point. Everybody does. Everybody has off shooting nights that hit them at some point. So it's not easy for them to continue shooting this well, but it's not out of the question too. This team has taken it to another level, and I think we've seen it. Now, we've also seen it with Phoenix. They've taken it. We've seen it with the Warriors. They've been playing better, even though they lost last night to the Mavs. They've been playing much better basketball as well. And so you've got a bunch of these teams that have picked it up here. And I think the Lakers are certainly one of them. They've picked up their play. They're 9-1 in their last 10. So it's not out of the question for the Lakers to do it. Just in general, would I predict that they're going to win 8 in a row, which is what it would take to win out and continue to shoot this well? That's a big ask. You're asking a lot. You're asking a lot. Could they do it? Certainly. It could happen. It could. I'm not saying it will, but it could. Why is Austin struggling so much from 3? I'm not sure if it's a legs thing. I have noticed, and I think you guys have probably noticed as well, Austin has been better at his defense. I think we saw him make a few big plays in this one. So defensively, we've seen Austin perform better. And I think maybe that's taking a little bit more out of his legs and taking away the 3-point shot, but it could also just be a shooting slump. So we'll see. Hopefully that comes back around because they need him hitting those threes. Reed said, if D'Lo could do this in the playoffs, we could do something special. Look, D'Angelo Russell, here's the thing. D'Angelo Russell is a guy who, no matter what he does in the regular season, there will always, he could go for 70, right? And people are going to say, oh, but he didn't do it in the playoffs. That's all that matters now for D'Angelo Russell. It's the playoffs. He's had a great regular season. He was great again tonight. He's been excellent all season long. for the Lakers. You look at him on the season, 18 points, 6.3 assists, 82% at the line, 42% from three. As of yesterday, he ranked 13th in the NBA in three-point percentage, 46% from the field. He's been great for the Lakers. And post All-Star break, the numbers are even better. So he's been great. But he was so bad in the playoffs last year, to the point where Darvin Ham benched him against the Nuggets, and I don't even fault him for that. Now, D'Angelo Russell had his comments where he wasn't thrilled that Darvin benched him without talking to him, not having a conversation, and there was the bit that got thrown in there about Dennis Schroeder and all of that. Look, and that's all, drama, right? But D'Lo's been fantastic. The only thing left for him to do is prove that he can do it in the playoffs, because that is what people know about him right now. That's what people think of him, that he can't do it in the playoffs. Just like with AD, right? All we've heard about AD is, Anthony Davis, it doesn't matter. He can't stay healthy. Can't stay healthy. He's played in all but 5 games this season. So he's proving people wrong. D'Lo has been told he can't perform in big games. This was a big game. He put up 28 points. He can't play in big games. That's what we've heard about D'Angelo Russell. He has one place left to prove people wrong about that, and that's in the playoffs. And unfortunately, if he struggles in the playoffs this year, it'll just be more obscene. He's not any good in the postseason. And that's going to perpetuate. He's got to prove it in the playoffs. All right, Ace of Hearts. Great win, but please no more 3:30 Eastern time games. I can't fix airliners at work and yell at my phone screen when the Lakers throw a dumb turnover. LOL, there were some dumb turnovers in this game. But I don't mind that we're going to be done a little early, right? I don't mind that. I don't mind because, hey, you guys are probably not soccer fans, but El Tráfico is tonight. I don't mind that I'm going to get to catch that. The Galaxy and LAFC. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited for that. The Dodgers are playing right now. Shout out Dodger Blue. They do a tremendous job here on YouTube at Dodger Blue 1958. You guys got to check them out. Jeff Spiegel, Daniel Starkan, Matt Moreno, and more. They're fantastic. Right now, the Dodgers are up 3-0 over the Cubs in the bottom of the 7th. Maybe able to catch the end of that right after this. Earlier start time in general, not my favorite, but every once in a while, not mad. Tomorrow, we have I believe, 7 o'clock game tomorrow against the Wolves. So goes back to an evening game there for that. 7 o'clock game tomorrow against the Wolves. So there you go. You get that. Let me check in on our poll here. Yeah, Anthony Davis leading by a mile. All right, let's end the poll on that one. Anthony Davis officially the superstar of the night, but let's do this. I think I know where this one's going to go. Star in your role. Chat, let me know. Put it in the comments section. Who should be the star in your role from this game?
Star in your role.
Star in your role. Who is it? I think there's really 2 options. Assuming we continue to omit LeBron and omit AD, I think there's 2 options. Taurean Prince and D'Angelo Russell. 2 options. Who are we going with? Just to recap here. Taurean Prince, 21 minutes off the bench, 7 of 9 shooting, 4 of 5 from 3, 4 boards, 18 points. Even had a Euro step in the paint that he banked in. D'Lo, 11 of 17 shooting, 6 of 12 from 3, 5 boards, 2 assists, 28 points in this one. I'm seeing a lot of Taurean Prince in here. And you know what? This was my plan going in when I said I think I know who it's going to be. Because D'Lo had 6 turnovers, D'Lo was great. And because we don't get to do this very often, I'm going to go Taurean Prince. D'Lo wins this a lot. D'Lo wins the star in your role a lot. Sometimes he wins superstar of the night. Taurean Prince having a game like this, on a day like this, in an important game like this, was huge. So I'm going to go Taurean Prince. He was red hot from 3, was hitting that. That was great to see. And then he had a couple little nice moves in the paint. When the Lakers needed a bucket, he had a little 15-footer. He also had the Euro step in the paint. Thought it was a really nice day from Taurean Prince. And here's, people will say a lot that Taurean, he caught all this flack from Lakers fans and all this kind of, yeah, he did. but it's not really his fault. We've been saying this for months. It's not Taurean Prince's fault. This is what you can get, and obviously not every night, but this is what you can get out of Taurean Prince when you don't ask him to do too much. When you don't ask him to do too much. He struggled and drew the ire of Lakers fans for a while because he was put in a role that was too big. He shouldn't be a starter. He shouldn't be playing 31, 32 minutes a night. He shouldn't be asked to be a primary point of attack defender. He's not any of those things. You're putting him in a position to fail when you do that. That's why it was so frustrating earlier in the season to see the way the Lakers were using him. Didn't make sense. Now, though, off the bench, 20-ish minutes, 15 to 20 minutes a night. You don't ask him to do too much. He can pick his spots, be okay defensively, like average defensively, hit some threes every now and then. He can do that. And there's nothing wrong with a guy doing that. Zero. That's it. That's a guy that's has already had a long career, is going to continue to have a long career, and has real use in today's game. The Lakers get more out of him by using him the way they're using him now. And this is the way it always should have been, is with Taurean Prince in this role instead of the, okay, you're going to start and we need you to defend the other team's best player and do all this stuff. It's crazy. It's crazy. But at least they figured it out now. At least. All right. We'll do a few more here. We do need to get into the Master Lock of the Night, of course. Edwin. So what a great game. Lakers win. We're in the 8th seed, possibly going to the 6th seed. Best coach in the NFL was in attendance. Go Lakers, go Rams. I mean, it'd be interesting to see what the Rams do this year. Go Kyron Williams. Gosh, he's fun. He's fun. What happens with Cooper Kupp? So what does he have left at this point? Puka? Does he just ascend and completely take over the wide receiver 1 role on the Rams? Probably. Should be fun. All right. Tamal said, early start means I could comfortably watch a full game on a Saturday night in India. We'll sleep peacefully now, knowing that we finally climbed to the top 8. Yeah, that's the other thing, right? We've got our fans like Tamal who watch from overseas, who watch and normally have to watch like in the middle of the night to catch a Lakers game, which I give these guys all the credit in the world for their dedication, that they're staying up through the middle. I couldn't do it. Hell, I'm watching the Dodgers at, what was that, like 3 a.m.? 2 nights was brutal. I couldn't even stay awake through it. I fell asleep during one of the games. It's tough. And so these people who do this all season long, I mean, wow, you guys are real ones. That's amazing. So I'm glad, Tamal, that you got a game at a more normal time. Even if it meant we had to watch a game a little earlier than we're used to, I'm glad you got a game at a more normal time because, man, you guys deserve it. I can't believe people would stay up through the middle of the night to watch these Lakers games in other countries. Amazing. Mike said, Lakers, we've been on a run. 6 or 7 seed definitely in play. Oh, it is 100% in play. 100%. And finally, we're there. Finally, they've got the 6th seed, the 7th seed in play. I mean, look, what's the Suns' schedule? Again, you need the Suns to lose 2 games if you're going to move up to 6th. You need the Lakers to win out. Gosh, am I talking myself into rooting for the Pelicans tomorrow? Suns' schedule. New Orleans. Here, I'll put it up on the screen so you guys can see too. Ooh, it's not easy. I hope, here's what I'll tell you. I hope the 1 seed is not decided by the final game of the season. Because here's what they've got. This is the Suns' schedule. They have New Orleans tomorrow. They go Clippers, back-to-back, home and away, back-to-back. Clippers in Phoenix, Clippers in LA, back-to-back, Tuesday, Wednesday. Clippers are pretty set in the 4 seed, so I kind of wonder if they're going to tank those games. Wouldn't put it past the Clippers to do it. Then Suns against Kings. Somebody's got to lose there. That's good. And then Suns against Minnesota to close things out. The Lakers need the Suns to lose 2 of those games. It's not out of the question. But the Suns have been playing great. Just like the Lakers have turned it up, the Suns have turned it up. They've been crushing teams. They've been great. So, the Suns, if they drop 2 of those games, and the Lakers go all out, they win out, that could be it. The Lakers could be the 6th seed. But the Suns know this. The Suns know this. They've been playing great. They lost to San Antonio. They lost to OKC without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. But then look at the last 3 games. They blew out the Pelicans. They blew out the Cavs. And they comfortably beat the Wolves. And it was a blowout for much of that game. The last few games, the Suns have looked much better. Now, as much as we say the Lakers are Jekyll and Hyde, though, the Suns have also been very Jekyll. Again, they have a loss against the Spurs without Wemby within the last few weeks. So the Suns have turned it up the last 3 games, but you also never know what Suns team is going to show up. So can they lose 2 of those? We'll see. We'll see. That would be big for the Lakers to potentially get the 6th seed. And that, could you imagine to not even have to worry about the play-in? To be out of it? To not even have to worry about the play-in? To sit back and watch why other teams have to deal with the play-in? How amazing would that be? Mike. Oh no, Mike's we just did. Kevin said, if we win tomorrow, my 6th seed hope is up. Yeah, tomorrow's the key. Tomorrow, I believe, is the most difficult game remaining. It's Minnesota, who's the 1 seed. They're fighting for the 1 seed. And you're on the second night of a back-to-back. The Lakers win tomorrow, and I think their odds of getting the 6th seed, or at least, let me say this, their odds of winning out go way up if they win tomorrow. Odds of winning out go way up if they win tomorrow. If there was a game to look at, these final 4, and say which game are they most likely to lose, it's tomorrow's. Tomorrow's game against Minnesota, second night of a back-to-back, number 1 seed in the Western Conference, coming off of a loss to the Suns in which they didn't look very good. They're going to be motivated. Tomorrow is the most likely loss. You get through that. You find a way to win tomorrow. And the odds the Lakers win out go up. As Sky Falcon notes, yes, please. Oh my goodness. So there's a great comment. Need to dodge a Naz Reid blow-up game. He's that guy. He tends to go nuts against the Lakers. He just does. He tends to go crazy against the Lakers. He has huge games against LA. It's part of the reason why I was hoping he wouldn't sign with the Wolves. He wouldn't get that extension with the Wolves last year before free agency even kicked off, and the Lakers could get him. He was the top of my list on the center market. I was hoping the Lakers could use their mid-level exception on him. Didn't happen. The Wolves smartly paid him a little bit more than the mid-level, make sure they kept him around and nobody else could go sign him. And he tends to have big games against the Lakers. That's what happens. No Gobert, no Towns. Last time around, Wolves, Lakers, and Reed went crazy. So that's going to be big. That's going to be big. Got to try to stop Naz Reid from having a huge blow-up game. Buck said Austin Reeves needs to move to the bench. If Gabe's not going to shoot, he needs to be out of the rotation. So I think that what's going on right now with Gabe Vincent is he's just trying to get back into a rhythm. As far as Austin moving to the bench, Austin's not been that great. Recently shooting the basketball. I think his defense has improved, but I think we're past the point where you're changing the starting lineup. I don't think you change the starting lineup now. We're too late in the season. Guys are in a rhythm. Guys are settling into their roles, and you're already kind of switching things up a little bit with Gabe. So I don't think you change things just because Austin's in a shooting slump. I think, and this is why I thought it was wrong earlier in the season for Darvin Ham to bench Austin and to bench D'Lo when they were going through slumps, because what message does that send, right? What message does that send to those players? Well, that sends the message that you're not good enough to where we're going to let you shoot through a slump. You don't mean that much, because there's certain guys. Look, if LeBron goes on a slump, he's going to play no matter what. If AD has a shooting slump, he's going to play no matter what. Now, it doesn't take AD and LeBron level stars to play through a shooting slump. There's other players in the NBA, certainly, who are going to play night in, night out, even if they go through a shooting slump. If Ivica Zubac, say, for the Clippers, I don't know why I thought of him, but let's say he goes through a 10-game shooting stretch where he struggles to shoot the ball. Is he getting benched? No. He's going to play every single night, right? You just have to hit a certain level of utility. Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell, I felt, had done that. And yet, when they go through a shooting slump earlier in the season, both of them get benched in favor of a dude on a minimum in Cam Reddish and a guy on a biannual in Taurean Prince, who both were forced into roles that were way too big to put together a lineup that made no sense with no guards on the floor. If you want to criticize for Darvin Ham for anything this season, That is number one. That's the top of the list, making that decision. So I think it sends a bad message to those players, to Austin, to D'Lo. They go through a shooting slump. Austin is in what, a 6-game shooting slump, and you say, "Oh no, that's it. You just lost your starting spot." I think Austin's important to this team is beyond that, and he's a guy that is of the standing to where you let him play through a slump here. On top of that, I don't think it's good for the rhythm of the team to change the starting lineup now with 4 games left in the season. As far as Gabe goes, he's trying to get back into a rhythm. Here's what I think is going to happen. Gabe Vincent, they're going to give him a chance because you're seeing what's happening. You saw defensively tonight, or this afternoon, he did some things that were really impressive. Gabe did. And so I think we're going to continue to see that. Gabe trying to focus on the defensive end, just like Spencer Dinwiddie did when he first came to the Lakers. And he probably still doesn't lean on his offense, maybe quite enough. But we're going to see that from Gabe. And if at some point it doesn't click, then come playoff time when the rotation shortens, then Gabe probably doesn't get minutes. Because in the playoffs, an 8-man rotation is pretty standard. Sometimes you'll see a 9-man. Even some teams will use a 7-man, but you're certainly not seeing like a 10-man rotation or anything like that in the playoffs. So what's going to happen is, especially if Jared Vanderbilt comes back and can be anywhere near healthy, which fingers crossed, hopefully we still get some good news there. But Dave McMenamin's report from yesterday that Vando still isn't cleared for contact. It's not ideal. Not ideal. But if Gabe doesn't get into a rhythm, then he probably becomes the guy that loses minutes, and you go with a 3-guard rotation with Dinwiddie, Reeves, and D'Lo in your backcourt, and Gabe's minutes get absorbed by those 3 guys playing more minutes, by a few more minutes going to LeBron, a few more minutes going to AD. Your stars play more in the playoffs. That's probably what we're going to see happen if Gabe doesn't get into a rhythm and doesn't prove himself here in the next 4 games. Hi, Trevor. An early morning game from China starting at 3:30 a.m. Okay, so this is a 3:30 a.m. game in China. 6 seed, we're coming. D'Lo, superstar of the night. Master lock Luka, and the Boston coach for trying to fleece the Lakers. Love your work and continue the show. Well, thank you. I truly do appreciate it, Lee. Luka sat out last night against the Celtics. Or no, Luka sat out last night against the Warriors. The Celtics, and fortunately the Mavs still won. Thank you, Kyrie. Thank you, PJ Washington, for having such a big game. But then you had Boston playing the Kings, and Boston rested some guys. Jaylen Brown's been dealing with a hand injury, so he didn't play. Derek White didn't play. And the Celtics were up big. I forget how many it was, but they were up big late in the game. They pull all their starters, they put in their bench players, and they let the Kings completely back into the game. In fact, and they didn't sub their guys back in. In fact, the Kings even took the lead. And then it took former Grizzlies big man Xavier Tillman to save the day. If there was any thought that, as Sky Falcon mentions, PJ Washington and Xavier Tillman, thank you. Like if there was ever a team that you would suspect was trying to lose a game, they would do the things the Celtics did at the end of the game. Now, I'm not saying the Celtics were trying to lose. I'm not going that far and saying they were trying to lose. Just if you were ever to look at a team and say, that team is trying to lose a game, that Celtics team, my goodness, they were tripping all over themselves, turning the ball over, missing everything. It was awful. And then even the final play, like Xavier Tillman scores, and then the Celtics, like they did everything they could to give the Kings a good shot to win the game at the end. De'Aaron Fox missed. There was a couple of tip-ins that missed, and somehow the Celtics survived. Basketball gods, I guess, smiled on the Lakers in that sense. But fortunately, the Kings lost. But man, if you were watching that game, that was frustrating from the Lakers' perspective, because it really felt like the Celtics were doing everything they could. And of course, it's Boston. It felt like they were doing everything they could to lose the game with their reserves in, just to spite the Lakers. Just to spite. I'm sure that wasn't really the case, but it sure felt like it. Didn't it? It sure felt like it. All right. We need to give a shout out here to our sponsor, and that is Sleeper. So you guys can check out the Sleeper app. You guys can download and put the QR code on the screen here for you. And check out Sleeper. We're going to make a few picks real quick. Use the QR code that's on the screen. Use our code LakersNation. Get a $500 first-time match. Damian Lillard, free square. That one's easy. 0.5 points. Of course, we're going to go more there. Nikola Jokic taking on the Hawks, 9.5 assists. That could be blowout territory. I think I'm going to stay away from that one. Dejounte Murray's been real good. Cam Thomas against Detroit. That's interesting. Dennis Schroeder. That's an interesting one as well. I think I'm going to go here. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey against Memphis, 6.5 assists. I think he gets it. He's a game time decision, so we'll see. Hopefully he's a go. But I'm going to go more on, that's Embiid. I'm going to go more on Tyrese Maxey. Assists, assuming Embiid is a go, I think Tyrese Maxey will get that done. And then we'll make one more here. Jaden Ivey has been real good. Dorian Finney-Smith playing against Detroit. Dorian Finney-Smith. I like Dorian. Good dude. 1.5 threes. I've got a hunch. I saw somebody have a little story out that this is going to be Dorian Finney-Smith is going to have his dad at the game. Now, let's see. Are the Nets playing tonight? Yeah, they are. So it's tonight's game. Yeah, that one is tonight. Okay. So that Dorian Finney-Smith's dad's going to be at this game. So I'm going to go Dorian Finney-Smith. I'm going to say he gets more than 1.5 threes. So I'll go there. All right. So that's what I'm at. Lillard, Maxey. Oh, Maxey maybe got removed. That one already expired, or that game's going to start. All right. We'll have to replace that one real quick here. That's the nice thing on here. Super easy to fix your picks. You know what? Let's go Luka against Houston. I'm going to say he gets the double-double. I feel pretty good about that. All right. We're going to go Lillard, Luka, Dorian Finney-Smith. You guys can check it out over on Sleeper. $20 entry would get you $77.20. Use the QR code that's on the screen, also the link in the description down below, and then use that code Lakers Nation. All right. Let's get back to some of your questions and comments here about this Lakers team. Oh, man. Mike said, let's go. Might be reactionary, but 5th seed. We coming. 5th seed? Mike, you're setting the bar high there. I don't know about 5th seed. Technically the Lakers are 2.5 back of the Mavs. So it's not mathematically impossible, but the Mavs have the tiebreaker over the Lakers. So it's not happening. It's not. Oh, the GOAT said, Trev, I think we might get to the 3 seed. Are there like 30 games left in the season? No, it's not happening. Look, the best case, I believe, if the 6th seed happens, I will happily be wrong. But I believe the best case scenario is the 6th seed. And that is relatively unlikely. Again, you need 3 things to happen. Lakers win out. Suns drop 2 games. Kings lose at least 1. Those 3 things have to happen. I don't think it's all that likely the Lakers win out. Okay. I think at some point a bad shooting night trips them up. It becomes much more likely if they win tomorrow. But at some point, I think a bad shooting night trips them up. But if it does happen, great. But getting to the 6th seed isn't all that likely. The 7th seed is very possible. They certainly could do it. Depends on what happens around them. But to get to the 5, that's not happening. Mamadou, why did he bench D'Lo in the 4th quarter? I mean, D'Lo had some turnovers, but I thought it was more of a defensive thing, just trying to get stops. They had the lead, so it made sense trying to focus on stops. Okay, so Darvin Ham in this game, I didn't have a problem with I actually thought the Lakers ran some pretty good stuff. They got a number of times. I love the way they're getting the ball right around the free throw line or about the nail. They get the ball to LeBron or to AD, let them turn and face, and then make passes. They do a really nice job taking advantage of teams going, oh no, that's LeBron. And then focusing on him. And then guys like Jackson Hayes or Rui Hachimura sneaking along the baseline and getting lob dunks off of that. The Lakers have been really good with that. Some of the sets and things they've been running look good. The only real quibble I have for Darvin Ham in this one was, and I thought he did a better job staggering LeBron and AD from the 1st quarter into the 2nd quarter. So I liked what we saw there too. The only issue I had was letting the lead completely be erased in the third before taking a timeout. He let the Cavs come all the way back from a 9-point deficit to actually tie the game before taking a timeout. And then the Lakers actually lost the lead for a little bit. But then we saw in the fourth quarter, Darvin, it started to get a little sloppy. And the Lakers, they had dropped, I think, 2 points. They had like a 12-point lead going in, and it had been cut to a 10-point lead. But the Lakers just looked sloppy for a few possessions. Defensively, they didn't get some stops. And Darvin took a timeout. So I thought he was much more proactive in that scenario in the fourth quarter, where I would have liked to have seen him do that in the third quarter a little bit earlier. I'll say at least he didn't make that same mistake twice, and he took the timeout early in the fourth, stopped the flow of the momentum, and then fixed it. So overall, I thought this was a pretty well-coached game by Darvin Ham. So when I look at this, why did he bench D'Lo in the fourth? D'Lo was great. D'Lo was great in this game. He had 28 points, gave the Lakers everything they needed, and he ultimately played, what did he play? 31 minutes, and the Lakers won by 19. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I got what he was trying to do. Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, defensively, you need guys who can stick with them. And when you've got a lead, you want to preserve that lead. So he went defensive. Jamal, and it's not, D'Lo played 31. It's not like D'Lo played 15 minutes. He played 31 minutes. Jamal, even if we finish 3-1, 6 is in the cards. The Suns go 2-3. That's the thing that I have a hard time buying, that the Suns would go 2-3, because they're playing so well right now. They're playing great. The Suns, if they do, great, but that's the tough part for me. The Pelicans go 3-2. Could definitely happen. Zion is hurting. No Brandon Ingram. The Lakers get the Pelicans last game of the season, so it's important the Lakers win that one. Kings 3-2 needs to happen. It's possible. It is. Purple Rain. Couldn't believe the 5th seed comment. Why doesn't Ham give Jackson Hayes more minutes? Because Anthony Davis exists. That's why. because Anthony Davis exists. If it's between the two, you're going to feed more minutes. And AD played 36 minutes. Jackson Hayes played 12 minutes, which is fine. So you had a center on the floor at all times. Essentially what you're asking for is Jackson Hayes and Anthony Davis minutes. And I don't think that's appropriate in every matchup, playing both of them together. Now, you could argue in this one, because the Cavs have both Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen, that this maybe would have been an opportunity to do so. But I didn't think you had to, particularly as once we got into the second half and the Lakers did clean up the Cavs' offensive rebounding opportunities, a lot of your incentive to play those two bigs together went away. This is a matchup that you could have done it for, but it hurt them a little bit in the first half, but they cleaned it up in the second half. They didn't give up nearly as many offensive rebounds. And so as that was, if what is happening on the floor is guiding Darvin Ham's decision, I understood why he didn't keep Jackson Hayes in the game and play him alongside AD, because the offensive rebound problem was essentially taken away. So I'll take that. Now, I think Jackson is, I kind of look at him like he's different as a player, but a Rony Turioff, a Jordan Hill, these types of guys, where if you were to play him 20 minutes, he's not going to be as effective. He's not going to be, you play him 20, 25 minutes, he's not going to be as effective. He's the kind of guy where you want to put him on the floor for short stints, let him go all out, right? Give everything he's got, be that ball of energy, be everywhere on the glass, protect the rim, do whatever he can do with all of that, finish some lob dunks, and then get him back out. Because there's also a high risk factor with Jackson Hayes. He can make a lot of mistakes too. There were a few times where he got the ball. The Lakers had an opportunity to go on a fast break. Jackson Hayes got the ball and got so excited, he just took off dribbling the basketball. Fortunately, he came to his senses and found a guard or found LeBron very quickly, but he can also be prone to mistakes too. So short stints, high energy, high activity, and then you pull him back out and you get AD that rest and you let Jackson Hayes do his thing. I think that's the ideal role for him. There will be nights where he'll play a bit more, but I thought this game was, it made sense, the amount of minutes that he played, and I thought he was effective. I liked what we saw at him. All right. Okay, so this is a good question. And you know what? This really needs to be a poll, because I'll be honest, guys, I'm so torn on this. I'm so torn. And I'll put my official decision tomorrow when I put out over on X at Trevor_Lane, my what we're rooting for. But who should the Lakers want to win tomorrow? Is it the Pelicans or is it the Suns? And I'm curious to see what all of you think. And that's why I'm going to make a poll out of this here. I'm really curious because there's two ways to look at it. Okay. So it's Pelicans versus Suns. Look at it this way. Remember, the Pelicans, if the Lakers win out, they're just fine. They're ahead of the Pelicans. No problem. If the Lakers win out, they are not necessarily ahead of the Suns. You need the Suns to lose games to get to the 6th seed. You need the Suns to drop 2 games. So if the Pelicans win this game, that helps. The Lakers still control their own destiny. The Lakers win out, you beat the Pelicans the final game, doesn't matter. If the Lakers win out, and that includes obviously beating the Pelicans the final game, it does not matter what the Pelicans do from here on out. Doesn't matter. Well, unless we get into a 3-team tie with the Kings, then it matters. But the Lakers will be ahead of the Pelicans. They have the tiebreaker with them. If the Pelicans lose, though, that increases the margin of error for the Lakers. It gives you a game that, well, it lessens your chances of getting to the 6th seed if the Pelicans lose. But it increases your chance of getting the 8th seed or maybe the 7th seed, because it puts another loss on the Pelicans, and that gives you that much more certainty that you can get up ahead of them, even if the Lakers were to fumble a game. So I'm really curious to see what you guys think. That essentially the higher ceiling would be hope the Pelicans win against the Suns. That's the higher ceiling. You want to get the 6th seed, you want the Pelicans to win. If you want to raise your floor, the Pelicans losing is the better outcome. So, curious to, 48-52 right now. Pelicans in the lead. 51 now. Close one. See, this is tough. Bottom line, right? The good news for the Lakers is somebody's going to lose. That's the good news. Someone's going to lose. Because we've seen for weeks now where the teams the Lakers needed to lose just keep winning. No matter what. Something good happens for the Lakers with one of those teams losing. So that's the good news. What it increases the likelihood of, we'll see. Depends on how it goes. All right. We'll do a few more here. And we do need to get to the master lock of the night. By the way, you know what? I haven't made a drop for this yet, but we had this brought up on a show recently. Somebody said you guys need to do a play of the game. So I'm curious. Super Dope Hip Hop. I saw your message over on X. I just haven't gotten a chance to respond. LeBron, I think he's okay. He landed on the photographer. I think he's all right. Okay. So let me ask you guys this. Play of the game. I've got one that I thought was the play of the game. I thought very specifically was the play of the game. And it's for funny reasons too. And Mike's already got it. The Jackson Hayes dunk. Jackson Hayes dunked on Gabe Vincent. Like, we got to talk about this. We have to talk about this. Gabe Vincent gets into the paint. It was not a pass. He gets into the paint. He high arcing floater up over the top of the defense. Air ball. And Gabe is going to go up to try to, I don't know if he's going to grab his own. He couldn't grab it because it was an air ball, but he goes up like he's going to grab it or something. And Jackson Hayes flies in over the top of Gabe Vincent, throws down the dunk, and sends Gabe crashing into the first row. Jackson Hayes, a ferocious dunk all over his own guy on Gabe Vincent. It was a physically, athletically breathtaking play by Jackson Hayes, and unintentionally hilarious in that he dunked on a fellow Laker. It was awesome. It was awesome. So that was my favorite play of the game. But Hayes posters everyone. He doesn't discriminate. Yeah, that's right. Oh, Austin Reeves save. That was a great play too. Austin Reeves save was a good one. So Austin kind of fumbled the ball a bit on that play, and it starts going out of bounds, and he behind the back saves it, kicks it out to a 3. That was pretty amazing, no question. I'll tell you what, though, my favorite Austin Reeves pass was the one, I think it was D'Lo. He threw it, and Austin Reeves, almost like a wide receiver, keeping his toes in, like leaned and reached and brought the ball back in a pass that was not on target, and he two-hand catches it and touch passes it to LeBron under the basket. I thought that was a great play. That was just a great play from Austin. The behind-the-back pass was great too. So for a guy who I thought had a good defensive game but relatively quiet offensive game, had 2 of the best passes of the game. But again, I had to go with Jackson Hayes dunking on Gabe Vincent. That was hilarious. That was my play of the game. That was my play of the game. All right, let's do this. Let's do the master lock of the night before we close out the show. And I know it was a Laker win, but what was the most annoying thing from this game? Fire it off, chat.
Master lock of the night.
The master lock of the night. What was the most annoying thing from this game? By the way, guys, no post-game show with Sean Davis. He is off today. Turnovers I'm seeing. That's fair. Debbie Lynn, Dylan Brooks. Yes. Dylan Brooks always gets the master lock. Cameron visuals, turnovers. Yeah, the turnovers got bad. They did clean them up at one point, but 17 turnovers on the night. They had 13 at the start of the third. Like they turned the ball over 4 times in the first, I think, 3-4 minutes of the third quarter. And the Lakers had 13 turnovers. They average about 13 turnovers per game. So with still a lot of basketball left, they turned the ball over that much. Turnovers, I think, is a really fair one. Second quarter lull going into half. Well, they finished the half, though, with a couple of stops and a couple of scores. But yes, they did. Master log Trevor for mixing up players. When we're doing the play-by-play over on Playback, I've got, just the small screen on my computer. And so when it's 2 guys that are similar in height and they have like a similar hairstyle, so like Gabe Vincent and Spencer Dinwiddie, it can be, I mix them up every now and then when I'm just looking and I'm trying to watch the whole screen and all that. Oh, Master lock Solomon Hill still catching strays for landing or diving into LeBron's ankle a few years back. Yeah. Master lock the camera guy. I mean, he's just doing his job, but sometimes cameras are a little too close. That's for sure. Master lock Larry Bird. Sure, why not? Always. Always. Dinwiddie and Gabe have different builds. Come on, Trev. I know they do. And people are laughing. I know they do. But again, I need to go full screen. I need to stop trying to, because I try to multitask. And so I'll have a couple things on there. And so it's a smaller screen. I need to just go full screen so I can tell them apart. All right. My official one, though, it's the turnovers. Official master lock, turnovers for sure. They turn the ball over way too much in this game. You got away with it against this Cavs team that shot poorly again for the second game in a row, but that's the kind of thing that's going to really hurt the Lakers in a closer game. So tomorrow, if they turn the ball over like this against a really good Minnesota defense, that's going to be a problem if they turn the ball over like this. And you look at Minnesota, where they really get it done is on the defensive side. They give up the fewest points of any team in the NBA on a per game basis. 105.8 average points per game for Minnesota opponents. So they are the best defense in the NBA right now. So you really can't turn the ball over. Can't turn the ball over because they're not going to provide a lot of great scoring opportunities. So if you turn the ball over, that's giving away scoring chances. You're going to need as many shots as you can get against this team to put up points. So turnovers is going to be important. Naz Reid as well. Yes, Naz Reid, of course. It's going to be important. Jared Chalker said on this run, the Lakers have the 6th ranked defense. How is that just okay? Because they're opponents. That's why. And I talked about this recently on the show. I brought up that the Lakers have the 6th ranked defense during their road trip they did. So the reason why that's just okay is because of the teams they were playing. They played Brooklyn, right? They played some low-level Eastern. They played the Wizards, right? Those are the teams they're beating. They played the Raptors, who actually got a win the other night against the Bucks. What is going on with Milwaukee? Dropping all these games to like the bottom of the barrel teams in the East. But the Lakers played the Nets. They played the Raptors. They played the Wizards, right? They played Memphis at the start of the road trip. That's part of the reason why their defensive rating was so good, because they're playing teams that are bad, right? Now, if you're watching the game, you can see the Lakers defense has improved. That's part of it. But do the Lakers really have like the 6th best defense in the NBA suddenly? No. A big part of it is they played really bad teams. That's part of it. Okay. So that's why I say their defense has become okay. Had they been playing, and defensive rating can be a little bit of a messy stat, especially in a small sample size like this, but their defensive rating isn't 6th if they're playing some of the better teams in the NBA. However, I can also say their defensive rating isn't going to be 28 either, which is where it was. It would probably be somewhere more middle of the pack, which is what we've been asking for. So that's why I say they're an okay defense, or has been an okay defense recently. Now that they've turned it up, 6th it's a little bit outstated, right? Like it's making it seem better than it actually is. Okay. And trust me, I would love to say, oh no, their defense is great and everything's good and it's all fine now. All right, everybody, big game tomorrow, as they all are. Lakers, Wolves, 7:00 Pacific time. We will be live on YouTube. We'll be live on playback for the game. Come join us. Come hang out with us. It's a good time hanging out, watching these games together, especially with this team playing so well right now. But if I didn't get to your super chat, I'll do an extra show tomorrow during the day. I'll preview a little bit of the Wolves game as well, and we'll get into that. So be on the lookout for that one. But thank you guys for joining me here today. Lakers get the win over the Cavs, officially the 8th seed. Let's go. Let's keep it rolling. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate all of you for joining. Till next time. See ya and stay safe.